Okay, so let me drop this post real quick. The other mad funny part is when you watch that clip, pay attention to some of the other hosts in the back. That's the other thing. Like when two of your homeboys are beefing, which type are you? Are you the diffuse type, or are you the I'm just minding my business type?
You watch it go down.
The internet is loving rocks for all the who, if you know, you know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he's a
I'm out
goat.
the loop.
What is this? Um, don't get distracted. You know, it's a really good opening. The opening for season one of Unlock Undead or Unlock Undead.
The best for
What's the
me,
anime about?
grounded on.
Dun, 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 dun.
What is it about? How do you explain? Uh, Supernatural.
Dog.
It's just.
Literally anime, every anime ever. Is this some zombie shit? Undead?
Mm, well, I mean, the main pro tag can't die.
All right. All right. You know what? I don't even need a description in that case. Oh, 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 oh.
Okay, I might not even. Well, I might ask you to test check on your end, but I just did a test and the audio seems to be working on the live stream.
Why are you advertising me this nonsense? Damn.
Okay, quick audio checks. You've been doing your audio all throughout, so just one last check, Ghost.
Check, 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 check.
You know, it's weird. It sounds louder compared to myself on the stream, but it sounds quieter when I listen when I'm hearing it in my ear. So I don't know. Anyway, Ace.
If I is this a better volume? I'm sitting back normally, I guess.
No, you should be at the proximity that you were before. It's good if you're louder on the stream. It's quieter in my ears for some reason.
Okay.
Check, check, check. How do I sound? How do I sound? Too quiet, too loud,
Yeah, your
not
audio is
echoey.
awesome. No, you're not. No, you're not. Your audio is definitely acceptable. Both on stream and in as far as I can hear. And then what about myself? Is the audio acceptable? Is it clear? Is it at a decent level, volume rather?
Yep.
Yep.
All right, let's bang it out. Have a dope stream. Um, yeah, when you get a chance, double check. Both of you double check, as a matter of fact, because a lot could go a lot. I always feel like a lot could go wrong. Okay. And that fine. Let me double check this, and then I think we should be good to go. Because I'm about to. Pardon me. Okay. Good enough. Okay, let's see. All right. Yeah, you might have to put that flashlight on your phone for.
That's actually not a bad idea.
But it's fine. We're doing late night podcasting, so it's definitely throw on a hoodie and just chill.
The part you don't think about. You thinking podcasters are nice and cozy, but they got the most brightest light in the world beaming at their faces at all times.
Yeah. That's why I kind of understand when some people like wear sunglasses when they do shows. I think I think people should see your eyes, but I kind of get it. Anyway, okay. So hopefully this looks appropriate. And by appropriate, at least everyone's name and face is where it should be. Hopefully it's not
That's
lagging too
AI.
much. Ignore that, and I will start recording. In 3, 2. Okay. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, everyone. We're back. Welcome back to the B1 to B4 podcast. We have not everyone here this evening, but we do have most of the crew, the family, the guys. We got Ace.
Up.
We got Ghost.
Yo.
And we have myself, QuestLando. Guys, how we all doing? How we all feeling?
Not too bad.
Decent.
Okay, that's actually not the standard responses. But I myself am feeling pretty great as well. Just relatively positive state of mind, just like I try to be. Sometimes you have to tell yourself that My Hero Academia motivational speech in your head before you start recording, just so you're extra ready. Anyway, yeah, doing a late night or later in the evening session. As you may or may not know, we've been doing more Sunday morning based podcasts, but due to timing, sometimes we may switch it up. So definitely, you might notice a difference in lighting or a difference in who's available, but we still provide that same level of BW BF vibes and conversation. So, quick podcast stuff to get out the way. If you're hearing this, make sure you like the stream. That goes a lot. That goes a lot. That goes a long way. And the reason why you should like the stream, not just because you're supporting some individuals over here, but we provide not just dope and honest conversation. We've by coming and stopping through the podcast, we also provide some dope music. If you're interested, we're not providing music, we're not artists here. Although some of us kind of make beats, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, if you are in interests of new music, new artists, new sounds, we definitely recommend you check out the description where you can find a Spotify playlist with our song recommendations of the week, and you'll definitely find some bangers. I'm pretty sure you can, with the variety of songs that we bring, it's almost a 100% guarantee you'll find something that you like. Also, some quick other podcast intro stuff. Pardon me. If you come back to the stream afterwards, we'll provide timestamps. I know some people, when they watch a longer video, they just go based off the timestamp to see what was touched, what was spoken on during the podcast or during that video. Nobody has time to just watch a whole 1.5 hour, 2 hour plus video. And if you prefer shorter content in general, we got you there as well. We definitely implore you to go to our channel, go to the videos tab, and you'll be able to find all of our topic videos just broken down to shorter content, shorter videos. Definitely way more easier and better to consume for a lot of folks. But yeah. Before we get to the topics, and when I say before we get into the topic, I think we can just step right past this. I don't think we have any content recommendations or warm reviews this week.
Nope. We do not.
Haven't left the house in a week.
Fair enough. So, and I don't either. So, I mean, we just sure step past this, but if anyone is ever hearing this, I suppose, we'll put that onus on you this time. If anyone comes across and hears this, let us know what your content recommendation and or warm review is for the weekend. That can be anything ranging from some new music you heard to a new movie you watched, a new show you watched, a concert you went to, a trip you went on, a new food you consumed, a new manga, some new clothes you tried, new clothing brand, anything that you consumed in your life recently that you think is worth sharing, whether it's negative or positive. We're definitely a place to share and speak on some of those experiences. That's what a warm review is, if you don't know. Okay, but if there is nothing else, we can get right to the topic. Even though this is a late night show tonight, salute to all the late nighters. We definitely are not here to be here all night, so let's jump right into it. Let me take a second to switch the screens, and to be honest, I might switch up something because I don't want things to get too hot and bothered and start lagging. But if I see something getting overheated, I'll switch it up. For now, we'll just switch screens. Let me get rid of the starting soon, and hopefully this looks. Oh wait, do I blow that up? No. Sorry, don't listen to me. Okay, perfect. So I just want to double check on the live stream. Okay, perfect. Okay. Actually, it's saying something might be getting a bit heated. All right, give me one last second to just switch this real quick. Don't listen to that. Probably should turn off the audio, but maybe it doesn't make a difference. Okay, that's already better. Okay. Okay, slightly different angle, but nobody really cares about that. Anyway, let's get to the content. I'm taking all night. So, let's start off with something light. Although this is kind of getting into more like science and database. I'm not sure if y'all are familiar with this. So, and there's something I gotta mention, but let me take it one step at a time. So, salute to Black Millionaires IG page. They shared this post not too long ago. New data shows that 150 is the max number of meaningful social relationships a human brain can maintain. Whenever you add new people, you subconsciously have to cut others off. Dang, that's like a Goosebumps episode, or I guess Black Mirror. Like you just whenever you meet somebody new, another person gets erased. I don't watch Black Mirror, so I don't know if that would actually make for a good episode. I'm just chatting. Anyway, so and a little caption is our brains have evolved to socialize, but Max is out at 150 friends. The size of our social networks is limited, even in the age of social media. After about 150 people, humans tend to max out. So again, there is some context to this, but again, we're here to keep it relatively light. So I'm curious to know: do you guys believe? Let's start there. Do you guys believe in this research based information? Do you believe that if you were to kind of give your best guess at how many people you actively kind of think about ruminating your brain that you actively socialize with? I think some of the context is kind of dependent on the person, but is 150 the amount of people that come to mind? No pun intended. Again, there's more follow up and more context to this story, but I'll start off with that. Start off with you, Ghost. What do you think?
Um, I mean, it sounds kind of far fetched for people to even like actively know and interact with 150 people to start with. So, I mean, I could definitely see this. Like, I would have thought the number would be like maybe half of this, to be honest.
Really?
Also, I guess the definition of meaningful social relationships is can fluctuate. Like, are we talking like a cousin that you ain't seen in years, and then you see him and you chill with them? Does that count as a meaningful relationship? And then they leave and you don't think about them for another few years, or is it like on a daily basis? People that you're actively interacting with, like text it. I don't know, but I mean, it sounds right to me. Just again, because I can hardly imagine even like knowing 150 people just like as uh acquaintances, let alone having a meaningful social relationship with them. So it seems like it makes sense.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And then what about you, Ace? Does this sound relatively accurate? That if you were to give it a thought, 150 people is the max number you think people kind of cap at it as it pertains to like how many people like we're actively thinking about, maybe communicating with. The ghost
Yeah.
question again. We can get some more get to the finer weeds of the details needed. I feel as if while some level of routine or continual interaction does play a part into it, I do think one of the like a decent metric would be like there's people that we I was gonna say no exist. There's people that we have in our lives that like they're in our lives like we're continually like interacting with them in some form or another, even if they're coworkers or close associates or friends or the case may be for your school than your peers. I feel as if like you think about somebody or hear about somebody and you're like, oh yeah, him. I remember him. I think that's what counts as a person that you're not. That's not in your 150 your meaningful social relationships
Hmm,
to some extent.
gotcha.
Yeah, I agree with Ghost that 150 people seems high, very high. I would have thought it would be way less as well. Um, especially if you're talking about people you are in communication with at any regular interval, like maybe less than like if you're communicating with them once a week, even I think 150 is insanely high. Um, but yeah, I oh, I was gonna say that the context of this post kind of uh indicates to me why 150 may not be so crazy to others, it being or coming from Black Millionaires account. Maybe people with wealthy people are more likely to know that many people and have to socialize with that many people. Um, and they experience this where people get pushed out of their brain subconsciously just because they have to schmooze with that many.
Smooth.
But
That was smooth.
yeah, I don't know. For me, definitely, I struggle with 20 people.
I was about to say, does you think that matches up with y'all's like number that come to y'all mind of like people that you are actively socializing with? You think you can get to 150 people?
I don't see it. I don't see it. Not meaningful.
So one thing to note, and I think I don't know how like common knowledge this is the some more context behind this, and the reason why I'm always uh, promoting that people do some level of research whenever you come across things like news in general on the internet. It's kind of sucky that we live in an age of information where like anything you ever want to know is like readily, easily accessible at pretty much all times throughout your day. But there's also like just a ton of misinformation that exists. It's kind of such an interesting dynamic. But not to say this is misinformation, just information that could be provided could require a bit more clarity. So I don't know if it really changed anything for anybody, but this is not new data to be honest, and it's loosely or maybe even directly based off. I don't know if y'all heard of this Dunbar's number.
I have
So
No.
not.
basically, there was a scientist that existed. I think I copied their wiki page to give some at least baseline context. Was apparently there's his brother's this British anthropologist or apologist or whoever whatever it is that studies humans. In the 90s, they came up with this. They came up with this theory, this thesis that by using the average human brain in size and extrapolating from results of primates, he proposes that humans can comfortably maintain 150 stable relationships. So, to be clear, this is something that people have been kind of studying and hypothesizing and researching since in the 1900s, or I guess more lately the 90s. And yeah, it's definitely something that um, I think for a lot of people, even by some of the comments, like it is a lot. So I think if people are saying it's a lot, like even us on this platform, it stands to reason that it is probably closer than um closer to the truth because obviously the research is that even this guy Robin Dunbar came up with like there are some scientists or some researchers that try to debunk it or whatever the case may be. But I think the fact that it's already a lot for most people, I think it stands to reason that it actually probably we'd probably do max out eventually at that point in time. It is interesting, like when it how it describes is like comfortably maintain 150 stable relationships because like all these things do have such a high level of relativity to them. Like it is a stable relationship. Um, and all but I feel as if it's and not doesn't it seem like as it pertains to being social like it is just a matter of like doing it or not. Like obviously you have to sacrifice, like it might impact like your work and or your personal life, but like, doesn't it seem like if you want to be social, it's just a matter of doing it? Like, I think we can all imagine like we could all spend more time with one another or just other people in general, but it just comes down to like we be sacrificing other things. Or does that
Yeah.
sound like it really is like damn near impossible?
Oh, I mean, uh, yeah, obviously you would have to sacrifice more, but I mean, I feel like at 150, you basically couldn't have a life outside of socializing. Um, but yeah, no, maybe
Even in this day and
I
age, where
believe it.
socializing doesn't necessarily require you to like be there in person.
Yes, yes, even in this day and age, even if you're just texting, it's all time consuming. Um, what was I gonna say? But yeah, I could imagine it being like a physical impossibility though, like a mental impossibility. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised.
yeah. Like I said, I think it does actually stand a reason that, and I'm almost like given that most people think this is a lot of people, I'm almost thinking like if we were to look at the other person, like how many people they socially interact with or maintain like a comfortable, like stable relationship, it probably honestly caps out like around like maybe 20, 25. Like regular routine socializing.
Right.
Yeah. Regardless, sorry.
I do wonder. I mean, knowing the, I guess the demographic answer is probably no, but I feel like younger people, this number would definitely be higher than adults, which it does seem like this is the target group that was studied for this. This is Black millionaires. But I feel like if you're younger and don't have to worry about work and all that, I want to say you would get to this 150 number, but like just school alone and any extracurriculars, I think you could get pretty high up to close. I don't know about close, but you could get pretty high versus again the situation that we're at now, having a job and all that. But maybe that is skewing the numbers a little.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Obviously, I think school is like the cheat code that gives you the ultimate like boost in social interactions and also a lack of lesser responsibility. Yeah, which is interesting. Maybe it's a is it maybe it's a curve through life because I feel as if like when you're old, you have a pretty. I mean, for a lot of the folks that I've seen in life, they do have a pretty healthy. So like, think about how many people our grandma knows. Obviously, they're
Yeah,
not
that is
they're not
true. Like,
either they're not interacting with them like all the time, but
yeah,
like just taking like you talk to anyone talks to their grandparents, like they will tell you stories about like all these folks um that
That's
some of them
true.
you don't remember. So
That's very true.
regardless, yeah, I definitely be interested to know what other people think. How many people are in your social circles or just social life? How many like realistically how many come to mind? Again, I think it's probably for most average people it really is like around 20 plus or minus, but maybe we are in the minority and most people do actually have quite a few. So I'll be curious to know what people say. But unless there's anything else, we can move on to the next topic. All right.
what?
Hold on. Okay. All right. Salute to the neighborhood hood talk. This feels like one of those unbelievable stories, but yes, it is indeed true. So, tall women are reportedly paying thousands, because any surgery that of this extent it would definitely be like probably even tens of thousands to be honest, to get their leg shortened because men prefer shorter women. So, tall women overseas are dropping thousands to get shorter. Yes, you read that right. Clinics in Turkey, weren't we just talking about Turkey last week? Are offering leg shortening surgeries that can take off up to 5 centimeters, about 2 inches, from a woman's height. According to Daily Mail, the surgery isn't light work. Either doctors have to literally cut out the femur bone, remove a piece, then insert a metal rod until it heals back together. Sounds brutal. Clinics claim it leaves no scars, but patients often spend weeks in pain, sometimes wheelchair bound. Yeah, obviously, like literally bone removal. I think if weeks in pain is the least. Wheelchair bound and need months of physical therapy before they can even walk normally. One Istanbul clinic revealed they already performed 10 of these procedures since 2023. They say upper legs can be shortened by up to 5.5 centimeters, over 2 inches, and lower legs by 3 centimeters, so a little over an inch. Recovery is no joke. It can take up to 4 months before bones fully heal. So, why are women doing this? Some say it's to balance out leg differences, but many admit it's about dating struggles and feeling too tall. Online forums are full of women confessing they've considered it because men often prefer shorter women. Doctors warn it's risky. It could cause possible muscle weakness, delayed bone healing, and even blood clots. And weight plays a big role. Patients are told they shouldn't weigh more than 154 to 165 pounds to qualify. Thoughts? So, I'm if you as you may or may not. The reason why this story is so interesting is you may or may not have seen the story there, and I actually followed one guy that actually did the surgery. Um, there's actually been stories where guys have gotten height. What's the opposite of reduction? Height.
Increase.
Lengthening. Actually, yeah, height increase. I don't think it'd
Height
be height.
increasing surgery. There you go. And that's already made people like skeptical, because like why would you go through like such a risky surgery? There was the one guy that he went through it and he was able to recover. It did take him like mad months, but he was able to walk normally again. But I don't know. I don't think anyone would have imagined that some people are doing the opposite, height shortening surgery or reduction. And the story kind of speaks for itself. While some people truly don't like being taller, some of this probably does stem from social romantic constructs, and at the end of the day, to be honest, I kind of raised my eyebrow at the men prefer shorter women dynamic. But at the end of the day, if you can be in a demographic in which you're more suited to get what you want, as in you'll probably get a taller guy, and guys will get somebody who is their height if not shorter. Is that really a W? I guess that's the question. What do you guys make of this? Do you think it's completely not worth the risk at all, or do you kind of understand that this might be an option? Um, for those who are really trying to change. You can't control everything around you, but you can control yourself. So it kind of makes sense to kind of change yourself to fit the dynamics that you want. What do you make of something like this, Ace?
This is very sad to me. I don't anything that regards like severe surgical modifications of the body um to appeal to others is, or I mean even to appeal to a more to like a self-criticism is just, I know I feel like I'm not supposed to judge it, but I I do. Like I don't feel like it's a good thing. Um but maybe it's just a me thing, but I feel like people should try to be able to come to some level of comfort with themselves as they are. You can change exercise, change diet, but to go through such risks for for reasons that aren't necessary, in, in my opinion, I don't think it's worth it.
What do you mean?
Uh,
Finding true love isn't a necessity?
I think there's ways to alter how you're trying to find true love. I mean, again, this is from somebody who is so far from the norm in terms of dating and all this stuff. So you gotta take my opinion with many grains of salt. But um, I just I can't see how it's so difficult to I don't know, like be patient and just continue to work on yourself more mentally and um again, if it comes to more exercise and physically, getting as fit as getting as getting as like idealized in that way, fine, but I will never be convinced that there's such a rush or such an urgency that you need to put yourself in, a physical harm in order to like, increase your dating pool or whatever. Like it's not worth it to me. It's not. Patience is I don't know, it's like it sounds callous, but I'm going through it. Like patience in my opinion is the way.
I mean, it sounds good, and to be honest, everything you're saying is correct. But come on, keep it 1,000. Say you got a homegirl, uber tall. You got a Brittany Griner size homegirl, or even just Angel Reese, although they don't play basketball, and they're taller than they're they're taller than every guy around. So it's like they can't find anyone their height, and they're they feel as if they're struggling in the world of finding someone that really matches them, and they're like, hey man, I heard about this surgery in Turkey. What do you think? What are you telling them?
I'm not I'm not encouraging to go do it at all. Like no. Like if you find the guy that can appreciate you regardless of your height, you're probably better off. You're probably better off than shortening yourself and thinking that, oh, that's going to solve the problem, or you're going to increase your dating pool in a positive way. Like now the guys that you you do meet are going to be of high quality. Like, nah, I I don't think it's I don't think it's the move. I do
I
not
mean,
think
their
it's the
quality
move.
might
Just
not
like I
change,
don't.
but go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's the same. I feel the same way. On the opposite coin about men doing the leg lengthening surgery. I feel like
Come on, you
I
understand. You
can
understand the plight of
exactly.
the short kings.
I can. I'm much closer to understanding the plight. Much closer, but still, I do not like. I'm highly in favor of again if becoming like content and becoming um accepting of yourself the way you are as opposed to changing that via surgery. It's
Man, that
I
sounds like
can't
good Hallmark card stuff. But if
I can't
somebody's
be
if somebody's going through like months after months of not being able to find anybody, man, they're going to Turkey. You're not helping them.
hey,
All right.
if they're gonna
Yeah,
go, they're gonna go.
I want to kind of rebut you a little, Ace, because I'm going full devil's advocate here, and
All
I
right,
can
go ahead.
100% see why. So let me set the stage here. We got this girl who was born into a very tall family. And let's say middle school, she shoots up taller than everyone else, and it just continues high school, college. Let's say 6'2" or something. And her entire life, I don't want to say that, her entire life since she got that growth spurt, middle school and all that, she's been hearing the jokes like, "Oh, Lakers need a center," blah blah blah. Like 99% of tall women here. And on the other side, when there's not people mocking her, there's dudes who are interested in her, but exclusively because of her height, where it's like kind of fetishized and the she's approached in creepy ways by dudes who just want to get with her because she's tall. So she's been going through this for 10 plus years, and when she's in the dating pool, you're seeing more of the same. And again, like playing devil's advocate here, a lot of people when they're in the dating pool, it's kind of like you're casting a wide net and you're trying to get lucky, but at the same time, you're trying to meet as many people as you can to find that correct person, which again, I don't necessarily co-sign this, but that's just kind of the way people operate in a lot of these cases. And in this wide net that she's casting, 90% of the dudes she's with don't, or not, of the dudes she's trying to get with don't like the fact that she's taller than them, or there's a weird dynamic going on. And all this has been kind of, again, being exacerbated for her entire life to the point where it becomes an insecurity and she can't really deal or interact with people, men specifically, without having that in the back of her mind. And then you hear about this surgery, and she says, "Oh, I can go from 6'2" to 5'8", which is still tall for a woman, but it's a lot more close to the norm." That I can 100% see why people would go for this. Now, I do agree with you in that it is sad that that people feel the need to make bodily significant bodily changes. Like I kind of feel that way about almost everything, like facial surgery, even to some extent, even though it's not the same. Like if you're getting surgery for fat reduction, or it is ideally like people would be satisfied with themselves the way they are, but it's kind of natural to be insecure about certain things. And if it's something that you thought that you would never be able to change your entire life, opportunity comes up and you're like, this is exactly what I'm looking for, I could see it.
I mean, you didn't really rebut me though. Like all you did was explain the
Get a mix.
perspective. You explained the perspective of somebody who would consider it, which I get that. I'm not saying they're crazy for wanting to do it. I'm saying they shouldn't, or in my opinion, they shouldn't.
I mean,
I
you're
can
just
completely
saying, yeah, you
empathize with
shouldn't,
it, but
and
I don't.
I don't know. I feel like it's just too, like, we don't live in an ideal
Basically,
world.
what Ghost was
Yeah,
saying is, it seemed
everyone
like
wants to be happy with
you
themselves,
didn't
but
put like as much thought into like the massive amount of insecurities that somebody could have and the struggles that they can go through. That's all I
Yeah,
feel.
I appreciate it. I appreciate. I can admit I didn't vocalize that. I mean, Ghost surely did. Um, but I've thought about these type of things a lot, so I I still come to the same conclusion. And again, you could say, "Oh, well, you're not in the position, you're not going through it," which is fair, but I still I still hold that it seems like the better thing to me to be able to come to acceptance of yourself and whatever that means in terms of, you know, how difficult it is to attract a mate that you know that you prefer or whatever. Not even that you prefer. That's not creepy or whatever. I still think it is more ideal than um than putting yourself in harm's way. And you know, if we wanted to go a biblical example. I mean, maybe this isn't on completely
Excuse me.
lined up, but like we got I don't know why this comes to mind, but Tobias's wife Sarah, who had a demon killing her what seven
This
husbands.
is a wild reference.
yo, I forgot about
She
this biblical story, bro. Yo,
she just wanted. I mean, well, she just it was kind of the opposite for her. She just wanted to give up. Her parents wanted. Her parents still wanted her to find a husband, but I mean, you
you
talk
digging
about
deep for
patience.
this.
Like you talk about patience. I mean, she had to have it.
So basically,
Just suck it up, tough it
Ace's
out.
moral of the story is make sure you pray and be patient, and hopefully the Most High will send a demon slayer your way.
There you go.
Oh
There you go.
my god.
Man, that's why I really rock with this podcast. Only here you can get that kind of reference. And while obviously everything these guys are saying is right, a lot of it did kind of come down to one, patience, acceptance, not putting yourself in risky situations to try to get you out, to try to, potentially there's always a risk in life, but potentially like very harmfully risky situations to try to get your desired outcome. We all understand these answers are kind of like the boring kind of you do have to, it is what it is answers. So while you guys are absolutely right, I'm also gonna give salute to all the tall sisters out there. Some other things you have to consider, and this is also advice that everyone knows. But just understanding again, if you're on the taller side, you're pushing 5'10" plus, 6 plus. Hey man, if you want somebody taller than you, you're gonna have to go the athletic route. And I know that's already a small number of guys out there, but you're gonna that's the route you're gonna have to go. Find you a basketball player. I'm not saying find you a pro player. I'm just find somebody that used to play basketball in high school, college, even soccer players. They'd be really tall sometimes. That's the route you're gonna have to go. And it sucks because everybody wants the athlete, and it sucks because this is more a strat for when you're young. But I mean, as you get older, people that do sports, they just go off and do other things in life. So, hey man. But you could go to a game and maybe that guy that's tall had a kid, so he's going to his kid's game, but maybe he's available, so you can be with that guy. So, basically, go to sports games. That's the answer.
All right, before we move on to the next topic, I have an important two-part question for y'all. I guess this kind of doesn't quite apply to you, Quest, but just pretend. What do y'all get with a woman that's taller than you? And I'm not just talking about like an inch, like we're talking, let's say 3-4 inches minimum. And if so, what is the height maximum?
You said, would we get with a woman that's taller than us, and what's the maximum?
Yes.
Yes, definitely. I would have no problem with a woman being taller than me. I don't imagine that there would be a maximum, to be honest. the only
6'7", 6'8". You're
I don't think there's a max.
Come on,
the only thing that could put a max in my mind is if it affected their like cognitive abilities almost. Like if it was something like, but
that is not
they're just like they're perfectly fully functioning.
The answer is guys don't care. Like it's really a one-way street of caring about the height of somebody.
All right, so you're telling me
this story kind of seems full of holes.
Ghost, what's your max?
Like, you're telling me that I'm kind of. You're telling me if you had to get on your tiptoes to kiss your woman, you wouldn't have a problem with that. Hey babe, you gotta look up at her, crane your neck back. You're telling me you would have no issue with this.
When there's a height difference, the other person bends down a bit. What are you babbling about?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I'd be good.
Yeah, guys don't
care. All right.
Typically don't care. Maybe Ghost cares, but guys typically don't care.
I mean, the funny thing is, I don't really care either. But to some extent, like there is a max. There definitely is a max. Like at some point, you just gotta go for that. Go for that 7-footer NBA is.
And the gag is, again, I don't want to be completely some culture where like trying to like make it seem like there's no way possible, because we obviously have seen relationships through our lives where there's a height difference. But relatively speaking, the reason why this question is also like not really applicable because there's lower chances that the woman that's taller than you is gonna be that attracted to you, or it reduces the chance they're gonna be attracted to you.
That's true.
That is fair.
But regardless, salute to all the tall sisters out there. You will definitely find your tall mate. You just have to be patient, and if you do find him, you might have to whatchamacallit, sacrifice some of your other requirements, because Ace alluded to it, and I'm not gonna finish it, but there may be some. How many tall geniuses exist? I'll always say that. Maybe some correlation.
Why are y'all on that energy? Like that's not even.
No,
I didn't even
it's
come to my
there.
mind.
There are negatives. There are like, I mean, not physical, but like, yeah. There's like, there can be physical, I don't know, disabilities that come with being super tall. That's all.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about Olga, who's 7'3" and has an IQ of 50.
Well, you
I'm
were
like,
saying put a max. Like, what's the
come
max?
on, bro. Like, I'm reasonable. Like, let's be. Oh,
Well,
Hey,
if
man.
we're being reasonable, then there is no max for me.
Oh my god. All right.
All I'm
All
gonna
right.
say is, all I'm gonna say goes. What do you think
You
what do you think
capping.
the average is like? And not to say these things are large indicators of intelligence. What do you think the average SAT score is for an NBA player? So just if you had to hazard a guess
You said for a WNBA player?
for an NBA player, I guess for both.
And,
But
well, for an NBA player, mm, go with a 105. 105, 100. On the lower than average, but average IQ is around like 110, right? Or am I giving folks too much credit?
I mean, you got the Google pulled right there.
Average IQ is 98. So I'll bump that down to a 90, 95, 90. I'd say average NBA.
Folks,
I forgot I'm
I
saying.
can't believe that if a super tall woman is attracted to you
Oh my god, let's
and
not dwell on
she
this.
meets all the other boxes, but it's just she's super tall, you're gonna reject her.
Okay, now
I don't believe that.
I did say I don't really care that much. However, when you say super tall, if we're talking like 6'4", sure, no problems whatsoever. If we're talking 6'8", once it starts to creep up to that 1 foot difference, I mean, I'm not gonna immediately just throw it out as like, no, um, this is a deal breaker. But I'm gonna have second thoughts. And anyone that says they wouldn't is lying. Because if someone's a foot taller than you, a entire foot, it, come on,
I don't
you
think that's
say that
possible.
you'll feel some type of way.
Not if the woman is meeting all the other boxes and attracted to me. Nah.
Yeah, absolutely not.
No.
Also, last bit of advice. For all the tall sisters out there. Obviously, all your life people are probably telling you to play basketball, but obviously basketball is kind of tough because there's so much technicality to it, dribbling and defense and all that. Try your hand at volleyball. Volleyball is definitely a sport I would recommend for taller women. But this is not a tall women's advice podcast. Unless there's anything else, we can move on to the next topic. Okay. All right. So yeah, I always liked when we can bump into like a tech-based topic in throughout the podcast. I'm not sure if you guys heard about this, and it seems kind of comical when you actually see it. But basically, and salute to China. They always are. I don't know. I don't know if it's treason to say they're always ahead of the curve, but they definitely are developing some things that is I don't know. It makes it seem like they are ahead of the curve in some regards. They just have to sacrifice, the ability to have freedom of speech to get there. Just joking.
Jesus.
Anyway, So, this new Chinese cars lets drivers throw emojis at bad drivers to relieve road rage. Let's look at what it looks like to see if you guys would like this type of innovation inside your vehicle.
Wait. Am I bugging? Oh.
There you go.
这个时候看到有一个家伙从你身边开过，这个时候你可以丢很多的玩具包砸向他，然后消除你的路怒，还增加了一个路消消气，就是你在开车的时候看到有一个家伙从你身边开过，这个时候你可以丢很。
So basically, there's obviously nothing to. This actually could have been the first topic. There's obviously nothing to deep dive in this. We've all been on the road, and even the most passive amongst us, I consider myself damn near a pacifist. Even the most passive amongst us can't help but feel our blood start to boil when we bump across that driver that's just doing the most dumb nonsense. Whether they're being too aggressive, they're cutting you off, or they're speeding, or they're driving too slow. Yeah, oof, maybe not. Anyway, and China's found a way to kind of help people out, because I don't know how many people are like me, but I don't like to beep on the road. I feel as if I was taught during driving school is like beeping should be like not last resort, but it should be like to really indicate like people use their horn for functions that it wasn't intended for. Like obviously we've all experienced the light turn green and all, before you can even like before the light touch your eyes to process that you need to go, like somebody's already beeping at you. But regardless, so instead of using the horn, instead of cursing at them, yelling at them, there's an emoji thrower. Now when I first saw this, admittedly, and a good thing we played it and I actually saw some of the subtitles. I thought China was super advanced to where you shoot the emoji into the car, and then the drivers gets it on their dashboard, so it's like you can text message people in their car. I thought that's what it really
to kill people, dog.
No, it wouldn't be like anything like too distracting. It would just be like you get a, like a little it's like when you get a message.
Yeah, nothing too distracting. You're in the middle of driving and someone beams some shit into your car.
I mean, if you're driving and you see like a thumbs down on your dashboard, you're not gonna get super distracted and drive off.
You're gonna be looking at that rear view mirror. This is like, who the hell is sending me a damn thumbs down? And then you're gonna, dog, you would try to get people killed. You're telling me with all the roads in America that people wouldn't like start brake checking or ramming folks if they got a thumbs down? Nah.
The problem is sometimes people earnestly don't know that they're doing some driving nonsense. So a quick thumbs down, a quick angry face emoji, that you don't think somebody would be like, oh, let me get out the lane, or let me
Come on, dog. What world do you think we live in? These folks that don't know how to drive, they think they're doing fine. So someone sends them a down. Wait, what? I'm driving perfect. This person must be not know what they're talking. Nah.
So
just little good.
I mean, even though you think it's a bad idea, what's the moral of the story? Would you use this function if you had it in your whip?
I wouldn't, because if I'm like, if I'm mad enough.
Apologies to cut you off. They also say like the purpose of this is more so to like relieve road rage. So would this be if someone's cutting you off or doing some dumb shit, would this think this will help relieve your anger?
I don't think it would, because like if I'm, this is not a healthy way of thinking, but if I'm like that angry to road rage or something, I don't want to do something that's calculated and intended to let me release my anger. I want like some level of destructiveness, like something that can actually have an impact. Which is, again, is not a great way, but it's like the same rationale as like why I would never rage around. Because if you're that angry, not enraged, it just feels fake to go out of your way and do something with the intent of I'm mad, so I'm gonna do this. It feels like you're not really that mad. Uh, I don't think there's any good way to frame that, to be honest. So I'm gonna leave it at
Hmm. Fair
that.
enough.
No, I would not use this because I just don't think it would be effective in easing my anger.
Fair enough. What about you, Ace? What do you think of this vehicular innovation? Do you think it could provide some benefit if we had the emoji, the bad driving emoji?
No, this is foolishness.
What do you
Like
mean?
Go said, the people people who actually road rage, this is a novelty that they probably would never use if they do use it once. Like that, and that would be it. Like this is not gonna satisfy road rage. When you're in that mood, you want the other person to know it. So if you know this thing isn't gonna do anything, it's not gonna be good enough.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I mean, we don't. I don't know like the full psychology behind like relieving somebody that's in like on a high angering induced environment, but come on, if you do this and you see the play a video again just with the audio off. You see, if you start throwing some pigs and doo doo emojis,
It's
come
gonna
on,
piss you off more than
look at
anything.
it. Throw a
Exactly. It's
sandal.
like
Come
this
on,
person
come
can't
on.
see it.
Yeah,
No,
come
Nah.
on.
if you're, which I don't think is a great idea, but if you're, I mean, as far as safety, but if your idea of it actually getting beamed to their dashboard, I that would actually like serve to relieve some anger because it's like you're sending them that uh shit emoji, you're sending them that thumbs down. It's like they know that they know that you're angry. If the only purpose this is serving is for me to vent my frustration, the person doesn't know this is trash. This is nothing.
Like
Okay, so
this is no better than just you being like, why wouldn't you just curse the person out in the car, like, and be done with it? Like
because
this serves no better
that's not
purpose.
that's not good. What if you like what if you're what if you got other people in the car? It's not good to just express these things. It's good to
Nah,
it's almost like
I mean,
it's almost like someone said it in the comments. I think it's almost like playing a video game.
If I'm
well,
mad, I'm not trying to play no video game.
exactly.
I'm trying to vent my anger. I'm not, Siri, activate emoji throwing mode. Like, come on now.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I'm not speaking from a place of I uh I I don't want something like this to be able to work. It's that it would not work. I don't believe that it would work for people that are in a road rage mindset state. This is
Man,
not the solution.
I know
And I
I
think
don't
it
want to come on
does.
here just to disagree, but I don't believe if you guys are pissed off on the road and you see these emojis flying, you're gonna remain pissed. I don't believe it.
You have to throw the emojis though. Like you have to be in a road rage mind state and be like, let me throw these emojis so I don't get stressed. It's
It's
not gonna
so
come down.
ridiculous to
It's
even
not gonna happen.
say.
It's not
You know
gonna
what's
happen.
crazy? And I've said this before, and obviously I haven't always had this mindset, but part of the reason why I'm able to like not to make not I'm a great driver, but like I think it's mainly for like long distances or like drive even when I'm like tired. Is because like I kind of already feels like driving is kind of like a video game. So and I know that's kind of like a very minority view, but say you are playing a video game and you're losing, you get pissed off. This is like an extra feat. This is like if you get to like shoot off your gun or it's just like you get to do a quick
if
release.
if
Guys, when
people
you're
are
pissed off
driving
in a
like they're in
video
a
game,
video
you don't.
game, I don't want to be in the car with them, to be honest. I don't want to be on the road with them. This shit ain't GTA. This ain't Need for Speed. Talking about. It's ain't
But
Mario Kart. You
also,
throwing items. Like, come on,
if
no.
you're getting pissed in a video game, to really relieve that stress, you're not doing that through the video game. You're like getting up, maybe breaking a controller. Like that's how you
Yes,
relieve
yes,
stress when you're playing a video game.
yes.
A real life thing. So it doesn't even work in that context.
You guys aren't you. I guess you're saying when you're pissed off, you won't even be like inclined to do this. But you guys can't tell me. You guys are looking at the emojis, and you obviously I'm not gonna say it'll make you happy, but Goofy and Rage can't really exist. Like you're gonna be like,
It
all
would
right,
make it would. I'm telling you right now, it would make me angry. I'd be like, "What is this stupid trash?" It would 100% make me angry. I'd be angry at the fact that it's trying to relieve my anger. It make me even
Jesus,
madder.
like a double negative. Damn, fair enough. Well, at the end of the day, I appreciate innovation, even if it doesn't, even if the consumer is not rocking with it. I like when you listen to confidence in this guy's tonality. If I don't know if he's the spokesman for a company or if he's the adventure, he feel like he bumps into something that will really help drivers, and I like that.
This
Again,
is what
I
happens
think they
when you
should.
throw a tech solution at a psychological problem with no understanding of
But
psychology.
the other thing you got to think about is you're probably paying extra money for this feature.
Oh, it's definitely.
So you're telling me you're paying money for this shit? Nah. I get even madder. I get even madder just thinking about it.
Yeah, this is definitely a. These days, you got all type of subscription model based stuff in your car. This is definitely you definitely have to pay monthly for the emoji beam. What was I gonna say? If it was up to me, they gotta, and obviously this would be like a car model thing, so you'd only probably be able to do it with the cars that have the same model, and even if everybody was driving the same car, there are probably a lot of people like you guys like would just turn the feature off. But if it was up to me, they got to have it so all cars have this functionality so that you can beam the emoji to the other person. Again, something very like inconspicuous, it's not distracting, but I want to beam my thumbs down, get off the road emoji to the next driver, and hopefully nobody sees that and stops the car and.
You're gonna have people stopping in the middle of the highway, looking around, trying to figure out who did it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
There's gonna be like a secret. There's gonna be a subscription fee. You can know like a red receipt, so you can know exactly who throw it, get their license plate.
I was just about to say that's also why it works because you can't inherently unless you're the only two guys on the road. But if you're only two guys on the road, then you can obviously just drive around them. But if there's a bunch of cars on the road, they won't know where it's coming from. So that also makes it safe.
You gotta have people jailbreaking their shit to get the exact source of the signal. You gonna have people looking straight ahead like that. Well, actually, if you did this, would you be looking at the person or would you just be pretending that you didn't do it?
Listen, maybe I'm just an honest driver. If I were to get this thing, maybe sometimes I do get a little bit distracted. If I get an emoji that says like something, I'm gonna put two hands on the wheel. I'm gonna drive safer.
That's too rational. That's too rational. You're the 1 in 10,000. I know for me personally, for most other people, I mean, there might be a moment of self-reflection, but if I self-reflecting, I'm like, no, I didn't do anything wrong. I'm looking around to see who's in the mood for judging.
It's equivalent to getting beeped at. Like when you get beeped at, you're not.
No,
Oh.
beeping ensues. Beeping is such a trash method because it ensues more anger. Like you guys know me, if I get beeped, I'm looking like they're not beeping at me.
But this is the equivalent of beeping, but worse.
No, if I get emoji, it's like
okay.
If I get emoji, I'm okay. Let me.
I'll allow that. Maybe it's not the equivalent of beeping because it is less. It's more innocuous.
Dog, you're telling me someone sends you the shit emoji and they send some monkey emojis too because they can see that you're blocking
They can't allow
you. You know this is where it's going. You know this is where it's going.
You see it, and now you take it too far. Obviously, they have to cap
I'm just being realistic, dog. This is the way the world works.
Emojis. No chicken emojis, no watermelon emojis, no.
But we're going to see it. We're going to see it. We're going to see it.
They have to patch out. They have to patch out.
Oh no, they're going to have a very limited set, and then there's going to be for an extra $10 a month, unlock the full emoji package, like a Smash DLC pack. Like, come on, this is where it would go. This is where it would go.
I can almost guarantee that's their model that this guy's talking about. We can't understand it, but they're literally like the base package gets you these emojis, but if you upgrade to the super emoji package, Oh my god. I don't know what's the moral of the story here. Obviously, people, can we just all drive like we earned a driver's license, please?
Need
Some people,
self-driving. That's the only thing that solves it. Full
that self
self-driving
that self
everywhere.
driving is a long way from perfection, dog. You still that's the car will stop right in the middle of the road and man. But regardless, I like innovation. That's the moral story. Keep innovating, and one day maybe we'll get somewhere. But if there's nothing else, we can move on to the next topic. Okay, this this is one of the stories I really wanted to get you guys to take on, and I don't like the fact that I feel as if I'm already gonna have to play big. I don't know what's I'm gonna have to play some big D pause, a big D defense for Arby's.
My mind was already
Um,
going a billion miles an hour, dog. I can't lie to you. Just
I
off
already
the first
I
few
I
sentences.
put it in my mind and I said it. Salute to Cam and Mace. I feel like the only people I should be able to say pause. Anyway, Arby's is being sued for false advertising. A lawsuit alleges ads make sandwiches appear to have at least 100% more meat than they really do. Made the meat look like rare roast beef when it actually fully cooked. Arby's lost its motion to dismiss the case. So, in case you missed it, the fast food chain, which still exists, which everybody claims that I'm not eating at Arby's, but yet Arby's is business. They've been in business and they seem like business is booming. So somebody's capping.
Yeah,
And I feel as
so
if,
someone's got to be eating that Arby's. Don't make sense.
and I almost feel as if like the data's like 1 in every 3 people eat at Arby's, and we got 3 people on this podcast, but that's none of my business. Um, Scroll down a bit. Actually, can you click onto that image so we can blow it up? Can you actually click that image? What happened when you do that?
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, we want to see the evidence, the incriminating evidence. So Arby's is booming. They're like they still got ads. They still be talking about we got the meats. Like something about it. And I don't know about wherever people live, but where I live, there's Arby in like the town over, and it's been there since I was a kid. And it doesn't sound like it's going out of business. I've seen Burger King's close and shut down. I've seen Pizza Hut's close down. What other restaurants? I've seen a lot of fast food restaurants come and go. Arby's don't seem like they're going nowhere, but they might have actually, they actually might start make some changes. So like the post said, they tried to dismiss the case because obviously any company or organization, they obviously don't want to go to court over things, and so typically they try to get things dismissed, but they weren't able to go through that dismissal. So Arby's will indeed be going to court to I don't know what you get understand and argue, but basically their product ain't looking up to what is on the menu. And obviously, this is like the quintessential dynamic of fast food and food in general. I think we've all watched one of those videos where they show you like how some restaurants do like the movie magic of like how they dress up their foods to make it look more appealing. You know what one makes me sick to my stomach? Allegedly, some restaurants put like glue on their pizza so they have a nice cheese pool. If I ever found out
Yep. They put
one
glue
of my
for and substitute for milk.
all right, now you're gonna make me sick. If I ever found out one of my favorite restaurants is doing some nonsense, although I will say, and I got a picture. Oh, I should have posted it in the Discord. I love one of my top 5 favorite restaurants is Chick-fil-A. It might be a bit basic, but it is what it is. And I tried a product recently, and the product I actually might put this in the post while you guys put this in the Discord to pull it up while you guys are talking, because the product that I saw on the site and the product that I received, they are not one to one. Let me see if it was relatively recent. I'll find it. I don't want to slow down the podcast. The moral of the story is, I think we've all been a victim, if you will, to false advertisement. I almost in so I don't know about restaurants, but I think on some snacks they do put like a little disclaimer on the package that said like product is like in size for like or enlarged for like just to show you what it could look like or something like that. They have a way more formal way to articulate it. But I think we've all once you stop being a kid, you come to understand the thing you're getting is not going to look like how it looks on the menu, and you just hope it tastes good. that's the most you can take. That's the most you can hope for. So understanding this, somewhat pessimistic but realistic view, what do you guys make of this? I guess lawsuit in general. Like, do you think it's a bit consumers are having too high of a expectation to think that they're going to get what it looks like on the menu or on the website, or do you think Arby's should be sued for everything they got? Let's see if anyone's rational, because I already know the type of energy you guys be on. Ace, I feel as if you've had fast food, you eat the least amount of fast food out of all, so you'd be frequenting Panera more frequently than I would think a person would. So I don't know. What do you bring up that picture again? We got to see evidence. We're this is basically be warned and be filled court. Play it up, how it goes. But what do you think, Ace? What do you think? Yeah, like I said, do you think the expectations are too high, or do you think you get what you deserve, especially if you're going to Arby's?
I mean, off rip, like I'm a consumer, so I'm my mind immediately favors the perspective of the consumer in this case, being somebody who I feel like I've fallen victim to this probably by Arby's. Because the one time I ate there, I think this was the case.
Oh, so it is you. He's the one in third that I made up.
Yeah, I've had them once, and that's why I never returned.
Beef and cheddar? I know you didn't get
What, they didn't have the meats?
No, absolutely not. It looked like the thing on the right, top right.
Yo,
like,
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. The one on the right looks better than the one on the left. Like that cheese looks absolutely foul and disgusting.
On the top one?
On both, I would rather have the one on the right than for both of these.
All right, we'll get to you because you sound crazy.
That's pretty crazy.
The one on the right looks like
it's a lot of cheese.
And I'm not talking about hair on.
Wait, hair?
You would eat that, Ghost?
There's hair on it?
Would you eat that?
I mean, no, I wouldn't eat Arby's either way, but if I had to eat one, I would eat the one on the right over the one on the left any day.
I would be expecting the one on both the ones on the left. I mean, regardless of if I think it looks better, which I do cut you off,
Ace, but that looked like the Krabby Patty on that one episode of SpongeBob where they messed up. It was like that. It looked like a dead sandwich.
Yo, I would rather eat that than that nasty, disgusting fake nacho cheese, bro. Any day of the week.
I don't like nacho cheese.
Any day of the week.
I don't like
nacho cheese.
Any day.
Cheddar. Cheddar should be an orange yellow color.
All right.
Not that melted, ugly shit. Nah. Give me the one on the right. Give me the
I think you're looking at it.
The one
melted cheddar. If it's a lot of cheddar, it'll be.
Nope.
Straight.
It'd be straight.
I like cheese.
No, absolutely not.
Anyway, folks.
I mean, the one on the right look like something you get out the school cafeteria. Like, I don't go to a restaurant to get something like that.
Bro, I mean, we all know that Arby's is like trash. I'm not caping for the one on the right. I'm just saying if I had to do the one on the right and the left, it's an easy decision.
Well, it's not Arby's. It's not about Arby's specifically. Just, do you think that when you go to a restaurant, specifically fast food, do you think you should expect to get what's on the menu or as advertised as it says, or do you think you should expect something more akin to what's on the right?
I mean, yeah, I think you should get what is shown on the menu. I don't know why I'm dilly-dallying around this answer. I definitely think you should get what's shown on the menu. The menu should represent what the food item is. The advertising or the false advertising is just that. Like, why would I? There's no way I would be in favor of that. It's just messed up. Like, you're just trying to make money by
Well,
selling something to somebody that doesn't represent what they're actually going to get. I don't think it's right.
well, the thing is, when they haven't won the case yet, so we gotta talk lightly. But what is false advertisement really? What somebody could argue,
Make
what's
the
on the
food.
left.
Make the food. Make the food. You take a picture of it.
Yes.
Don't put lipstick on the food and all this other stuff.
Yeah, like literally
Make
every
the-
company needs to be sued, to be honest. Because I've seen the videos and like every cereal brand that you see in the box, every fast food spot, they all up to these BS tricks. And
It's
it's all
complete BS, man.
yes.
But
Yeah.
check this out. What they're advertising, while that sandwich does look completely different, they're advertising bread, cheese, and meat. What's on the right? Like on Your Honor, are we not?
To be
giving
honest,
the-
I just see bread and meat. I don't even see the cheese.
uh, I don't know what's going. You're right. I don't know what's going on with that. You know what I'm just putting together. And again, we're not here to hyper focus on like Arby's specifically, but these are the same sandwiches. One is just a double beef. There's one that like double the beef.
2 meat for the price of one?
All right.
We stacking
I think
meats?
that's why one has 2 layers of cheese. That's the double beef.
Listen, if you zoom in, I'm sure you'll see some cheese. It might not look as yellow, but
Meat on meat is
You gotta
crazy,
get
dog.
the
I'm just
magnifying
saying.
glasses.
What cheese, bro? I'm blind, but I'm not that blind. All right. God, it's not even let me zoom.
Look at we're zooming in, but it's not. Zooming in.
It's the opposite of
Anyway,
zoom.
So what's the moral of the story? You think
Arbys
you
is
think-
trash is the moral of the story.
No, we're not at the moral of the story yet. Sorry. What's your final thoughts, Ace? You think it's not unreasonable to have expectations to think you're gonna get what's on the left?
Yeah.
You think you should
I
get?
think
You think when you walk into a restaurant, they should give you what's on the left?
yes. Yes. And if what's on the left is I mean, you could argue, like, I think they would have a leg
Bro,
to stand
how
on.
do you give somebody a
if-
sandwich and the cheese is like in the middle of melting?
That's the hang.
It's
if
mid-melt.
the beef is
Well,
hot, if the
they
beef
should
is hot, if the beef is hot, it's gonna be
If
mid-melt.
I put the sandwich together and the thing start melting, by the time I wrap it up, bag it, and give it to you, it's
Okay, you know what?
I can't give it to you. It's
What I will-
mid-melt.
What I will cave on is if Arby's took these pictures and it was like it wasn't doctored in any way outside of just they made the sandwich and they took a picture and maybe the lighting is way better and whatever, then I would say they'll win the case. Like, and I can't rebut that. You can't guarantee that every restaurant is gonna put the sandwiches together in a way that looks like the ideal, like if they got a chef making the ones in the pictures. But
Exactly.
if
I
they're
can't
doing
give you. I can't give you the
anything-
lighting. I can't give you the cheese while it's melting. I can't give you even.
cheese walls,
You know, they say sometimes like you, and this is like some food theory stuff. Don't listen to me. Sometimes they say like you should get, if you're getting meat, if you're getting steak, burgers, you should get it a tier below what you would get. So say you get like medium, you should get like
Mhm.
medium rare, because the stuff, especially when it's in the right container, it's gonna continue to cook. So by the time you get it, it might be that higher level of cooked. So
So you're saying we
This
should
is
get your meat as fresh as possible?
what I'm saying is, right there, what's on the left? That might be a fresh sandwich put together when the meat's right out the whatever, the grill or whatever, and put together. By the time I bag it, stuff it, ship it, you can't expect that. There's just no way. It's unrealistic.
dog, it's in real life they're just putting the burger. I mean, they're putting the sandwich right on the tray, and it looks like the right. Like, there's no universe in which they're getting the left. They're not doing that because the left is fake. Like, let's be real, the left is fake.
Okay,
It's
but if
got
they put
makeup on it. It's
if they advertise on the
plastic.
right, would you get it?
This is literally
No,
the
they need
basis
to
of the
step up their
advertisement, the
game.
whole
That's the
lawsuit.
point.
All right, Your Honor, I don't think I'm gonna budge, Ace. I think Ghost already pretty much solidified. Well, actually, no, Ghost, you're tweaking. What are you saying?
I don't even think I gave my actual take on this.
Yeah, yeah.
I
First of all,
mean-
do you think consumers need to temper their expectations as it pertains to fast food? And yeah, we'll start with that.
I mean, 100% yes. Like, you, even though in an ideal world, you walk in and you see a picture and you know that's what you're getting, you should know that they're going to BS you. It's just like, you've been alive however many years, you got to know at the point when they advertise it's fake. So I don't think that any consumers should really be bet on a shape if, like, oh, that doesn't look how it looks like on the menu. I mean, it's like that's what these companies do. So I think you should expect it.
Okay, okay. So I guess given that, if you were the judge in this lawsuit, how would you rule it? Do you think Arby should be sued for this, or do you think
I mean, yeah, even with me saying that, I do think they should be sued. I do think they should lose. Take pictures of whatever you cook. If you want it to look nice for this, whatever batch you cook, whatever, but it needs to be of something that's actually real. No BS. If it's not real, don't put it on the fucking picture in the menu because it's false advertising. I do think they should get sued. I do think they should lose.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm no lawyer. I just married one, but I can see a world in which you could make the case, Your Honor. These things, if you squint hard enough, are equal. I'm sorry. What do you want me to say? Listen, if
I mean, I break out
if I tell you
the
I'm gonna paint you a picture
color
of the Mona Lisa,
analysis and, like, the shit is clearly not
if I
equal.
tell you I'm gonna paint you a picture of the Mona Lisa and it's a pale Caucasian woman that's doing a half smile, you got what you asked for. They're advertising that. They're advertising bread, meat, and cheese. We might not be able to tell all the factors in there, but that's what you're getting.
Eh.
And then what about you, Ace? If you're the judge in this case, there's no way the Arby's getting out of this.
Oh, I mean, like I said, if Arby's can prove that they just took pictures of the food with no doctoring, I think they have a chance. And by no doctoring, I just mean the food in ideal conditions. Yeah, I think they have a chance, but I bet you that sandwich is not edible. If you you'd have problems if you ate.
Man, it's the way it goes. You sound crazy. I wouldn't eat that thing if my life depended on it.
Dog, that shit on the left, like, it looks worse to me. I know the one on the right looks like you said, that Krabby Patty that I think literally killed someone in that SpongeBob episode. I don't care, bro. I ain't eating that nasty cheese. I ain't doing it.
You know what's also crazy? I'm just gonna roast you, but no pun intended. I actually, this is a wild, it's a wild transition to relate to you. Though there's a way in which I relate to you. I'm on record. Again, this is, just bear with me. You know, you guys know me. My mind thinks where it's off sometimes. I found throughout my life, if I'm looking at a picture of a woman and they're like fully, like full makeup, their skin looks perfect. There's maybe even some filters. I don't find that as attractive as a woman who's just looking more natural and maybe even some skin blemishes, just because that looks more authentic to me. Like inauthenticity. That word got hella butchered. Something that doesn't look authentic does look a little off to me. So in that way, what I'm trying to say is I can understand what you're saying, Ghost. I'm not eating that thing on the right, but I can understand what you're saying. Yeah, unless there's anything else, we can move on. And we'll definitely keep you guys updated on what's the outcome with this Arby's lawsuit.
Yeah.
Go back to that Taco Bell. Are people posting their? Oh my.
There was a Taco Bell one. What? Yep.
Yeah, scroll up a bit. Yeah, Taco Bell is also a big offender.
Yeah, Taco Bell is definitely what's the point of the
Yeah, I don't know why they got the
thing in that.
I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to prove.
What's the significance? I mean, to be honest,
hopefully nobody posted anything too disgusting.
Like these burritos, I can't cape for Taco Bell too much, but like I see more.
Yeah,
of
it's not that. It's not that bad.
It's
not as bad. Yeah.
Get that thing. That thing looks like a Fear Factor challenge. Yes, yes. I'm glad that's exactly what that thing looks like. I think everybody's just thinking of this SpongeBob memes. Oh wow, yes, that's a good point. I've never had In-N-Out personally, but every time I see somebody post In-N-Out, it does look like that. Yeah, it looks like chum. Yeah, everybody. Do Whoppers look like Whoppers?
So
I haven't had Burger King in a long time.
Yeah, I haven't had a Whopper in like fucking 15 years, but I do remember that shit being trash and disappointing. Yo, low key Wendy's is like very accurate to what it actually looks like in real life. I can't. Very
all you
accurate.
have to do is make the patty square and it's gonna look like the ad.
Just like the cross section, like this.
Yeah, this is definitely an RDC skit somewhere in there. Definitely.
Yeah, we'll turn up the volume a little.
Yeah, about 20 minutes ago.
Let me see.
All right, look, yeah. No, you ain't order Arby's, but look, hey, this is my first time seeing a customer, bro. I just want somebody to eat Arby's, bro.
I'm good, bro. I don't want it.
Hey, complimentary meal, bro.
I'm good, bro. I'm good.
I'm saying that you can have it. Take it, man.
But stop, hey, bro. I'm good, man. Damn,
yeah,
bro. What the fuck?
That'd be me if somebody offered me the Arby's. I'd be like, I'm good.
McDonald's delivery here.
I didn't order McDonald's.
Oh, well, it's on us then. It's okay.
Wait a minute. Man, you the Arby's nigga, bro. Just leave, man. I'm not eating that. I'm not eating it.
Man, give it a chance.
No, nobody
give it a chance.
I understand that shit's trash. That's why it's
But
trash.
we got the meats.
We got the meat. Listen to that shit, bro. That shit sounds dirty. That's dirty.
Somebody eating this.
Hey, stop. Get out of my house.
Man, what are you doing? Hey, you better not throw that shit. I put my heart and soul in that.
But get out of my house.
But I'm not.
You gotta eat that.
All right.
I wouldn't give that to a dog. Still to Arby's. You're doing something right.
Oh yeah, I got your Arby's delivered.
But I'm not eating that.
We need an actual. I'm gonna look up the stats after. Who is eating Arby's? Arby's been getting clowned for like decades. Y'all seen that beam with the Simpsons? I was so hungry I could eat at Arby's. Dog, like they've been getting clowned since the 90s.
Yeah, I don't get
All right. We've talked enough about Arby.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
Okay, reset. Okay, and last but not least, Jesus, I'm getting tired. Last but not least, gotta get some hip hop related news in the mix. Salute Chin and Sharp. This was actually filmed a few weeks, maybe even months ago at this point back. But they had Raekwon, the legend, the Wu-Tang legend, on their platform, And obviously, whenever you have an OG of hip hop, you're gonna bump into a conversation about like the authenticity of hip hop today, and kind of spoiler alert. I don't know if I'm fully rocking with Ray on this one because these conversations are kind of set up to make somebody that's from the older generation of hip hop come off as just like somebody who, I don't want to say he was like hating, but somebody who's like disconnected for a bit. But maybe you guys will have a completely different take on it. So I'm curious to know what you guys think. And this is roughly 3 minutes, so maybe we want to digest all of this, or maybe we'll stop at a point in time. But we'll give it a listen to see what Raekwon's talking about.
You recently said hip hop doesn't feel authentic anymore. Do you?
Okay.
Is there, in your mind, is there ever a chance hip hop, rap, whatever the case may be, will it ever be what it once was?
Let me tell you something, Unc, and I want you to listen real clear. I don't know if
Okay.
I just told you or like I told you. You see, this is why I call my album The Emperor's New Clothes.
Okay.
My album, The Emperor's New Clothes, is because The Emperor's New Clothes is a Dutch folktale about deception. The king got hoodwinked. He got hoodwinked. He's sitting there with all his vanity, and vanity turns into ego, and then next thing you know, you become weird. You start to forget the rules and principles because your ego is so big that at the end of the day, these guys came in to sell you some clothes that wasn't real, but you knew they wasn't real, but your ego allowed you to sit here and try something that really it wasn't right. So the bottom line, what I'm saying is, we got to stop falling for sucker shit, for stupid shit, for shit that ain't hip hop that we classify as hip hop. What's the difference? What's the difference? Glad if I give you a shirt and I say, yo, try this shirt on and I ain't got nothing in my hand, common sense is going to tell you, nigga, this ain't, yo, Ray, you ain't got nothing in your hand. Other nigga might be like, that's the shit, Ocho, put it on.
Right.
That's what's going on in the game today.
Yep.
Niggas make hip hop be something that we know it ain't, but you got niggas right next to you telling you it is what it is. So my thing is, don't get caught up in the deception.
Yeah, I was like, where is it? So, salute to Ray are already, one, you always gotta give people a salute for their passion. Also I forgot he actually talks about like the in-depth meaning behind the album theme and title. And that's something like who I will give him credit, like who amongst like a newer generation of artists are putting that level of like getting that random story, like ancient English random story, and making a whole thematic album about it. So you definitely gotta give a lot of credit for that. Lupe does a lot of that too. Like there'll be some random reference that's implemented into their art. Obviously a lot of the artists that we rock with are prone to do stuff like this. But it seems like the base of his point that he's getting into is that what we're being sold to in this day and age, it's not authentic, and it's not necessarily what the seller is pretending that it is. That's what I'm gathering so far from. Are you guys gathering the same thing so far? On the same page, or?
Yep. Pretty much.
Okay. Let's see what else he has to say.
Exceptions. So when I'm making my music, I gotta keep it hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Prime example, and this ain't shitting on nobody. Post Malone, right? I love him as an artist. I love him as an artist. You look him up in a dictionary or anything, Google, they call him an American rapper. Now my thing is, when I think of Post Malone, he's singing all the time. Not taking away from him saying that he can't rhyme or he call that something else. You see what I'm saying? You see how you got the white boys do the rock? You got contemporary rock, you got punk rock, you got this rock, you got hardcore rock, you got all these different titles. But when it come over here to hip hop, everything y'all niggas is calling fucking hip hop, it ain't hip hop, bro. That don't mean it ain't dope. I'm not taking nothing away from homie. I like him. I'm a fan. But that's hip hop. You understand what I'm saying?
I feel you. I know exactly what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying.
This is not the single. It's just like I said, we got to preserve the culture, man, the best way we know how, man. Niggas got to stop acting like they calling everything something that it's not, man. That's all I'm saying.
Again, heavily salute to Raekwon. I'm on record. I am probably one of the biggest supporters of Wu-Tang and everything that their legacy continues to be. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we've all heard this type of debate, argument, case made hundreds of thousands of times. Almost to the point where, again, while I can heavily respect the messenger, I'm almost a bit surprised that we're still kind of toting this type of thought process around. It's almost like I almost feel as if I would have it. No matter how old I get, or how no matter unless maybe I guess that's where the passion comes in. At a certain point in time, I would just be like, like I said before, I don't know if I could continue to rehash things that have been continuing to stated, continually. But I don't know if we've actually ever had an in-depth conversation about this on the podcast. So I'm curious to know what you guys think. As Ray said, there should be a high level distinction in hip hop about what is actually classified as hip hop, whatever that means, because that gets into a whole conversation of like what is true hip hop, and obviously we know Wu-Tang is hip hop, we know that much, but what the specific parameters of hip hop is, that can get a little murky. And yeah, there definitely is a passionate tonality to there should be some distinction in hip hop, as you mentioned. So I guess the first question that comes to mind, the main question that comes to mind is, do you guys, before we even get to like some of the nitty gritty, do we even deem this as a problem? As he's kind of indicating as a problem, do we think it's hurtful when we kind of clump everything as hip hop, or do you think it really doesn't mean anything and or is beneficial to have a broad category of hip hop? We'll start with you, Ghost. What do you think?
I do think that this argument and whole discussion is a little recycled because it's been talked about for a long time, but I don't think that means it's wrong. There is a lot of stuff that is being paraded as hip hop where it's not. I mean, personally, I've always been a fan of like in-depth classification of genres, mostly just from like a listener standpoint, because I just like knowing what I'm listening to and how it compares to other sub. I can find more of it, but from like a maintaining the culture standpoint, I mean, I don't know how much that part really matters, because like if you know it's hip hop, or if it doesn't fit your definition of hip hop, then why does it matter if other people outside the culture are calling it hip hop when you know it's not? Other people in the culture know it's not. Yeah, that's kind of where the disconnect comes in for me for Raekwon's argument, because I don't know, that aspect of it's like, I'm struggling to find a reason why that matters. But generally speaking, I do think there's some validity to his point.
Yeah, I'm largely on the same page. Do you find any I don't want to say validity. What do you make of like the analogy that he's posing and starting off with, of like there is some problem in like someone trying to say something that is truly not?
Like who's saying it? Because the way he kind of framed it is like, if we're going up for Grammy nominations, Post Malone's being nominated for Best Hip Hop Album of the Year. That seems kind of like what he's talking about, and for me, it's like, who cares? Because we would look at it and be like, they said that's hip hop, or they said that's R&B.
That are trying to win the Grammy, yeah, they would care.
I mean, yeah, I'm not talking about just like the artists. I'm talking about just like, I don't want to say like me, but kind of, yeah. Like me and the people that I'm talking about this with, if we're not gonna have any arguments, oh no, this Post Malone album, it said on Wikipedia it's hip hop, so we should have it at the end of the year list. It's like I'm
That's actually a good point. That's actually a relatable point.
Like who the person that's saying it's hip hop, but the people that are making these generic arguments is like, why do we care what they have to say? Is really what this boils down to, in my opinion.
Yeah, like I said, I largely agree with you. I guess could you imagine a world in which, like, say, like an artist is, and this is like an impossible kind of scenario, but say an artist was trying to get you to listen to something, and they hand you the disc. they, they put you on some music, and they say, "Hey, this is my new hip hop album," and you listen to it, and it doesn't got any 808s, it doesn't have any like rhyming. It's a fact. It really just sounds like another genre by and large. And your first thought is, oh, this doesn't really sound like hip hop. But they are very firm standing on like, no, this is hip hop. This is my version of hip hop. Do you think like that you'd find a problem with that? You think you'd end up going back and forth with them? Like, no, dog, it's not hip hop.
I mean, I probably would go back and forth with them. At the end of the day, it's like I'd walk away from that discussion and be like, this person's bugging. But I wouldn't really give it any more thought. I guess I will say that when I'm listening to like genre specific playlists, or like I'm like, okay, I want to listen to a good post rock album from 2025. I want to listen to a good album, indie album. Five. I want to listen to a good neo soul album, and I hear some bullshit that is not genre adjacent. I will get a little tight about that, just because it's like, again, it's kind of like an inconvenience to me. It's like, why are they saying that this is something that it's not? But that's kind of as far as it goes. I wouldn't really. I'm just. I'm like, for that example you gave, the person claiming his album's hip hop. He's gonna go down, assuming this is like some random just trying to sell his mixtape. He's gonna keep going down, talking to random people, and repelling the same argument. And I'm gonna know it's not hip hop, but at the end of the day, it's like, even if he shows it to someone, damn, this is a good hip hop album. I will look at him crazy, but I'm just gonna kind of move on today, because it's more about internally what I classify stuff as, and I wouldn't really care if it reached the charts as the number one hip hop album of the year, if I like it's an internal thing that I know what it's not.
Yeah, that makes sense, and I'm definitely picking up what you're putting down. To be honest, that playlist example is probably one of the better examples of something that's relatably could impact somebody, because in this day and age where like playlists is way more of a bigger thing, if you put on a playlist to hear a specific sound and then you start hearing something that's not reflective of what you intended to hear, that could be bothersome. But I mean, outside of that, like even the example I brought up, I'm kind of very like conscious of that. It's kind of like a wild hypothetical, but it kind of gets to the point of like, what harm does truly come from somebody claiming something is when it's not. And just to kind of understand, like, I mean, just so I understand like the passion that Ray has, because again, this seems to be a big deal if you were to take something away from what he's saying. But what about you, Ace? And I don't know if any examples kind of change your answer one way or the other. Yeah, but yeah, first, do you think it harms anything, the broader aspect of hip hop, for everything and anything to be included in the category of hip hop? Do you think it's potentially helpful in this? What do you make of this?
Um, I think, I think that this is kind of a lost cause in trying to like
Uh-oh.
protect the sanctity of hip hop. Um, like at the end of the day, it's going to evolve whether we like it or not, whether Raekwon or like the founding rappers like it or not, it's going to change. So trying to hold on to a definition and like force that definition on others and like classification on others is truly a lost cause. You're kind of just like yelling at the sky, in my opinion. And this is from somebody who was like
Old man yells at the clouds.
I used to be this way more so. But yeah, I it's it's um it's kind of pointless. And I would say too, like he said, he brought up, Post Malone as an example. I would want to know what exactly makes Post Malone not hip hop, and like what are your exact classifications, uh, in
Well, he
order
said
for us
like,
to even.
well, he said he brought up like the singing aspect, so it probably one of the first categories. You have to be rapping.
Okay, 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 you could say that, but then yeah, like I think if somebody is going to come with this argument at this point, they truly do have to come with like a full,
The metrics. Yeah.
yeah, metric definition. Like I need documentation at this point, and then we can at least have some type of argument around something. But just to keep rehashing this, you know hip hop is dying or changing, or it's not, these things aren't hip hop, this is, it's, there's no point to it to me. And I do think, like Ghost said, the example of like the playlists and categorization from a listener standpoint, um I can certainly see that as being a case for um um being able to, easily find new music, or create playlists of this, of similar music. I think that's a valid thing, but it becomes, I think it becomes argumentative because to somebody like a Raekwon, it feels like it's more than just um uh classification from a listener standpoint. It feels like they're angry because they're losing something that, like losing an aspect of the culture, or that it's getting diluted or changing in a way that they don't see fit. And that's where it's like nobody's gonna really, no or not many, I would say, from the new generation, especially of listeners, are gonna care that much. So you almost like, if you're not coming with just a pure genre classification type discourse, it's just going to continue to fall on deaf ears. So yeah, that's kind of my opinion. Like I see the benefit in having genres and subgenres, um to be able to listen to what you want to listen to, find what you want to hear. But outside of that, I think like it's a lost cause trying to just protect hip hop because it's, supposed to be pure and that type of mentality. I don't think it's I don't think it's worth going out of your way to try to do that. You're just gonna sound like an old man.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, you got to spin. I'm picking up everything that you guys went down, and yeah, that's what I think it largely boils down to. And maybe, to be honest, maybe you can make the case he's not necessarily speaking for just like the average consumer or listener. Maybe he's kind of speaking towards like this is something that's problematic for artists. Um, Again, I think to your point, I think you'd have to bring and obviously the problem with that is once we start getting into definitions, like even that can be argued. Like someone could say like, in order to do rapping, you have to have this many bars or lines, or whatever the case may be. But what does it mean to rap? If you have like two bars in the song, does that automatically make it a rap? And then like, is it hip hop now? So I think
Mhm.
I think it could the conversation can continue to extend to a point where like it's gonna be one of those things where there's not gonna be a large consensus on it, or maybe there could, but there's a likelihood for it not to be. But I think if the person that's passionate about it or speaking on it does provide some level of metrics, I think we can at least start to understand their perspective, and then we can start to work around that. Off right now, we're working on like, okay, you're saying it's hard, you're saying it's harmful, you're saying it's a problem, but most people don't agree with that or don't feel that harm, and everything else that goes into it.
One thing I wonder is why this is such an I feel like we've kind of talked about this before, but why is this such an issue in something like hip hop or rap where we don't have many subgenres per se that especially that people would agree on versus like you know like all the subgenres of rock. I don't think anybody's really arguing if you place them into whatever punk, metal, new metal, hardcore. Like I feel like it's just kind of yeah, that's what you sound like, so that's what we're gonna put you in.
I think it, you're largely right. There are some subgenres I can think of off the top of my head that do kind of get into the real nitty gritty of you shouldn't classify it like this. Kind of like almost that sense of being offended. But yeah, I think overall you are right.
I mean, honestly, truly speaking, when we talk about hip hop as like a super like broad category, before we started the podcast, when I was looking out some new records, like there is like these some genres of hip hop, like trap is obviously a big one these days, drill, like chill wave, what was there was a other one I saw 'cause I was trying to identify specific cloud rap. There are definitely some of these things.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah.
It's just like we don't really often like talk about them. And to be honest, when we're talking about hip hop, broadly speaking, like there's the base level of hip hop, which a lot of people do end up falling under, and then it just kind of boils down to rap and then R&B.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's really what you're
Yeah.
gonna get. And again, I can see honestly the biggest victims, and I'm using victim very liberally. I'm not no one's a victim, but the biggest people that could be affected by this is truly artists if they're up to win like an award, or if you should be in a playlist or a spot where somebody else is in it now, but they don't necessarily fit that description as much as you do. To be honest, um, this brings some context. I don't know if this is harmful or helpful, and it's kind of crazy to think to say I'm about to list everybody that's ever won a Grammy for best rap album, but in the grand scheme of things, it started in 1996, so there's only like 20 or 35 of them. So just to give, if and no one here by any means is saying that the Grammys is the metric for what's rap, to be clear, but just to give an idea. So in 1996, and I'm not going to say the year for everyone, but 1996, Naughty by Nature actually won. They won over Tupac and ODB.
That's insane.
Interesting. Fuji's won the next year. Puffy, or Diddy, he won. Jay-Z won. Eminem won. Eminem won the year after that. Outkast won. Eminem won again the year after that. Outkast won the year after that. Finally, Kanye came in. He won. And he won the next one. Then Ludacris won. So it's Luda. Kanye won the one after that. Wayne, so it's Lil Wayne. He won the year after that. Then it was Eminem. It was Eminem again. It was Kanye again. Then we reach Drake. Drake won his first one. Oh, this was probably this is probably one of the most controversial one in 2014. Macklemore won. Remember that. He beat out
Christ.
He infamously beat out Kendrick, Good Kid, Mad City. Oh my god.
Texted him afterwards.
Yeah. Not only did he beat Kendrick, which was already the most offensive thing ever, he beat Jay-Z, Drake, and Kanye. Oh man, everybody was dancing to that thrift shop song. So hey man. The year after that, Eminem won, Kendrick won, Chance won, Kendrick won again.
What?
Chance,
Chance,
wait.
you said?
For coloring
Chance
book?
has a Grammy?
Yes, for coloring
For
book.
coloring book?
Don't come on here. Listen, first of all, Coloring Book is a phenomenal album, and second of all, he was up against
Phenomenal is crazy.
he was up against Khaled, Drake, Schoolboy Q, Kanye, and De La Soul.
Sounds like a lot of artists that could have won into.
People didn't like Khaled at that time. They still don't like Khaled. That Blank Face album, I don't think
Blank Face had some bangers, bro.
I don't
it
think
had
it's
some
Schoolboy
bangers.
Q's best work. I like Life of Pablo. A lot of people don't. A lot of people like Views. I actually don't think it. I don't think it's just a bar for bar better album than Chances. And then De La Soul. De La Soul is kind of like a legacy album that would have been nice if they won, but it would have been. It just wasn't going to beat some of the other ones. But anyway, y'all starting to sound like Raekwon. Like, who do you mean Chances winning a hip hop album? After that, it was Kendrick. After that is another kind of controversial one, but again, there wasn't too many. Actually, to be honest, the fact that this won over Nipsey Hussle's album, Cardi B actually won one with her album. Tyler the Creator won with his album, and to be honest, I don't know if it's more so reflective on me, but whenever these conversations come up, even though like at this point Tyler and a lot of the former or future members are respected, I feel as if they would at one point. And they were at one point. Like, they were completely rejected from hip-hop. Like, nobody was trying to claim that that's hip-hop.
Yep, 100%.
So this is kind of...
Well, Kanye was rocking with him.
Yeah. But to be honest, at one point, people... I don't know if someone would ever say Kanye's in hip-hop, but some of the stuff... Some of the stuff that he was rapping about, and as he famously said, they weren't rocking with it.
Yeah.
After that... In 2021, Nas won his first one. Crazy. After that, it was Tyler again. After that, it was Kendrick again. Kendrick won. I think Kendrick won for every album except Good Kid, Mad City. It's the craziest part.
He won one for
not the Untitled.
No, yeah,
The Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, and
I remember blinking.
And Mr. Morale and Big Steppers.
Yeah, he won one for that.
Yeah, he beat out DJ Khaled, Future, Jack Harlow. People would have been pissed if Jack Harlow won for sure. And after that, salute to Killer Mike. He won one. And last but not least, last year, Doechii came in and completely stole the show.
Damn, I forgot Doechii. That's shocking. I mean, it was worthy, but that's shocking.
Now, if you ask me, again, I think to this overall point, first and foremost, a lot of these artists at one point in time, and maybe for some of them for good reason, sorry, Macklemore, they wouldn't have been considered hip hop. It's like through like the evolution of hip hop and all that jazz. Some of these artists are obviously most of it is pretty on point. That's my second point. A lot of this, to be honest, is kind of consistent with what we would say is like a hip hop rap album. Obviously, salute to Cardi B, but Cardi B being in the mix and Macklemore, and I can understand what you guys say when Chance went over some other things. That kind of mixes it up, but for the most part, even if you don't agree with who won that year, a lot of this is just bar for bar hip hop and rap. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that gives the Grammy credit or it's just a matter of what else would win, but I don't know. This is obviously a conversation that could go on for hours, and when we don't have time for that. And two, it is a conversation that it's been had probably. I bet you literally there was the first crew that started rapping, and then when they found out there was another crew that was rapping, I know for a fact within that first year where hip hop was accepted, someone said, "No, that ain't real rap." I know for a fact somebody said that. That ain't real hip hop. I know. I just know. Yeah. But obviously, I think there are some times where there's merit to this. I think again, they're not the most crazy examples, but there is merit to the conversation of what should be in a category because if something's truly not. I'm gonna say Nevada.
Damn, you know what's crazy?
Because Nevada's that's the first rock market.
People definitely said Wu-Tang ain't hip hop. Back in the
Wu-Tang?
day?
That's
I'm
that's a
sure of
loaded
it.
question.
I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it.
I don't know.
Wu-Tang must have
That
sounded
one.
crazy back in the day to some of the old heads. Like, come on. What are we talking about?
That I find hard. I don't know.
Compared to
I
Run
don't think so.
DMC, it was out. Come on, guys.
It wasn't. They were a decent enough time afterwards. Because I think not Big Daddy. Well, Big Daddy came too, but I feel like Rakim was like he was on the come up after Run DMC, and he kind of started like the whole renaissance of hip hop. I feel like after Rakim's projects came out, Wu-Tang wouldn't have been that awkward.
I think
they were.
Just because
I don't think so, man. I don't think so.
The distinct like theatrics and difference in culture that they put in the music. But once you get past the skits, they were just pure rapping.
I know they were, but you had to get past that, and they sound super abrasive compared to anything else at the time.
I don't know.
Super abrasive.
That might have been like
wild.
That would have been like one super OG that's like don't budge under it.
I'm pretty sure it was the consensus, and I bet you if we talk to our pops about it, our uncles, like I think this would be probably the consensus. Was like when they came out,
Wu-Tang of all groups.
Yes,
I don't think like
that's a hard one.
Specifically,
almost any other. Like, you could say
Nas. Okay, yes, Nas. He's
Now, what about West Coast rap? G-rap? You tell me, or G-funk?
Yeah,
You're telling me that, or like Southern rap, like Outkast? Come on,
I
like
think
that
specifically. It's hard to call it on because I think New York was just kind of solidified. Like I don't think nobody from New York was getting that. Yeah, this isn't really hip hop until like later.
Yeah, even jazz rap, like Tribe Called Quest, Fugees, even Miseducation. I have a feeling that a lot of people do not think Miseducation as a pop album until that's kind of like I don't want to say modern take, but a lot of people just would have thought of it as R&B. For Wu-Tang, I'm almost. I can think of a lot of.
We gotta go back and look at some like articles or something because I'm sure Wu-Tang was heavily debated when they first dropped. When they first came
if anyone ever did, then that means anyone is susceptible to get that. Like this isn't hip hop because Wu-Tang is hip hop. Like it's just like Wu-Tang is hip hop.
Like they were definitely revolutionary in like the whole way they came together and the super group and like the sample, the themes, the samurai, the Japanese culture. Like sure, but at the end of the day, it's like you cannot get more hip hop than thing.
Yeah, it's hard.
I think they redefined it.
I don't even know if I'd say that. I don't know if I'd say that. Like,
I think that's why they're so. I mean, I won't say that's why they're so influential, but it's probably the reason why Wu-Tang jumps out at us as being so
influential because they came up with the greatest abbreviation.
Yeah, like a top 5, top 10 album of all time. But I feel like if we're talking innovation, if anything, it would be Rakim because he innovated that whole golden era of hip hop. It was him. If anything,
but it wasn't a break from. It wasn't a significant.
A break from like Run DMC, Grandmaster Flash.
It was an improvement. It was a
no. Okay,
improvement. But
I actually have talked to my dad about this.
Okay.
And he kind of co-signed the fact that when Rakim came out, it was like a whole new, like people were just shocked and caught off guard because, again, like rappers people weren't rapping like Rakim was rapping. Like it was not anywhere close to that level. It's like you had like the iconic hip hop tracks, like the hop, like, but it was kind of more, I don't want to say dance oriented, but it was not what Rakim made it at all. And then he kind of revolutionized it. And then again, when you get to the 90s, that's when everything really shifted but I feel like a lot of that was his influence. I feel like Wu-Tang compared to him, it really would not have been like that off-putting. Like I think the biggest argument for that would go to West Coast rap.
Yeah.
Like when Dr.
I
Dre
think you're
really
right.
was on the come up, and
once you start going to other regions,
I think Snoop
that-
Dogg particularly, like when he started really, because that whole, no one was really operating like he was, like that whole the style, like kind of laid back, and it's like, and the way Dre was producing, I think that's a lot. What was NWA? Because NWA, they were kind of precursors to Wu-Tang, right? I would think, and like I would think that Wu-Tang was more reminiscent of NWA than
I don't know the
they were
timing.
innovators.
NWA is
I don't know the timing,
early
but
90s, like damn near 90s.
Yeah, so
yeah,
Wu-Tang was what they were. What were they? 93? Was that when Enter the
93, 94.
Yeah, 93. So it was right around that time.
I think
I
we're
feel
definitely on base with, like, once we get to other regions, that's probably when you start to hear the higher, the more like, this is not hip hop or this is something else conversations.
Yeah, like Southern rap. We know for a fact that OGs were in heavy on.
I don't want to get stuck on this, even though we could. These are kind of conversations that can just go on all night. Something happened recently. I think it was something Young Thug said, and obviously, speaking of artists, that people that say it's not hip hop. He says when he was in jail and when all those leaked phone calls were coming out, I think he said something negative about Outkast, and like, and the thought that came to my mind is like the South gets that that like this ain't hip hop or this is something different. But you gotta salute this Outkast, because whenever I think of like people that put on for the South and put on for like Atlanta, I feel as if even if you don't really rock with Outkast because they don't do as much, they don't put out as much as others. I feel Outkast is single handedly like made such an impact. Just outside, obviously the music, but hey man, Outkast went up there and said famously said the South got something to say, and look at hip hop now. Like, it's continually been Southern coming in and just being the most influential. But that still goes to the point where like I even being young, I can remember some of those, like, it's crazy because it was kind of like an easy integration. Like, there were so many people that like living in our areas and even in New York that like they're rocking with Jeezy and Ludacris, probably even more so than I do. But and T.I. as well, but it's just like, even I kind of remember some of the conversations were like, I mean, they're not rappers like Nas, they're not rappers like Jay-Z, so it's really it's really interesting, how like I think, I don't want to say every artist, but like a lot of artists who will go to that, where like people are gonna maybe not reject their music, but say it's not the what is the expression? It's not the It's not the real deal. Like, it's by and large what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so to Ray. I mean, I guess if anything, these conversations, I think people just like to hear OG's thoughts on like what the modern sound is, whether it's like positive or negative or neutral. I think that's really where these questions kind of stand from.
It is very, very interesting, because again, they grew up in it and they were pioneers in it. And as long as it's not just like pure hating, it's always interesting to get that different perspective versus us who kind of grew up with it already established in some ways.
Yeah, and to be honest, I would never accuse like Shannon of this, but I think some platforms are looking for OGs to kind of hate just so they can continue to get that footage or those clips.
Yeah,
here go the OGs hating again, so it can stir up even more kind of conversation.
It's like NBA discourse. They get an old legend on the mic, and it just spurs a whole lot of interaction when they hate on the modern game.
Yeah. So yeah, I think one of the biggest more stories. These conversations are fine to have, and while they are kind of a bit like recycled, like we said, there can be some productivity to them. But I do hope. Like, if in a year we come back and Raekwon's on the Breakfast Club, Hot 97, saying this, or multiple years from now, saying the same thing, then maybe we might look at it like, oh, all right, maybe. maybe
Old man yells at cloud. Yeah, we're back again.
But for now, we can leave it there unless there's anything else, and move on. I believe that is it. But actually, real quick, I don't know if you don't dox anything, and I'll even go here. But pull up the images I pulled up. I dropped in the Discord. I'm gonna have to do some editing.
Trying to think of how am I gonna. I see the image. I don't know how to. Maybe I can do this.
Easiest thing.
Copy it and paste
yeah,
it
copy and paste. Yeah.
I don't know if it'll let me though, because this is a link to the.
Copy the image.
Yeah. Yep.
But where am I pasting it? I guess I'm showing it now, so it's fine.
Just click on it.
It'd be kind of good if you kind of. Yeah. Do that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Thank you. I like that. So one more thing on the Arby's debate. I present evidence. This to really help Arby, but Exhibit B. So I recently got this new product they were serving that they're promoting at Chick-fil-A. So to Chick-fil-A, I never can say anything bad about them, even if they do give me something that doesn't quite look like was advertised. So they were promoting a pretzel cheddar club sandwich. Salute to Wes. I feel as if nobody likes a pretzel bun more than him. So you guys let me know. Is that, and it's obviously not the same angle, lighting, blah blah blah. And also I don't get bacon. That's wrong. But does that look like
this looks better than what I would expect.
Oh, okay.
I have absolutely no problems with this. This is not a case of false advertising. I'm straight. This looks good to me.
I was a bit thrown off by the bun. Like
yeah, it does look a little weird. It looked
like it's expanded a bit.
Yeah, I mean maybe, but that's kind of, in my opinion, that's minor. Like I've had this sandwich, and I think the buns I got I didn't look that closely, but I think it was more or less more similar to this than yours. So maybe they just cooked yours a little long. But I got no complaints.
What do you think, guys? Think I should try to sue Chick-fil-A?
Huh.
You wouldn't win.
Dang. Fair enough. Okay. Well, sandwiches aside, before we fully wrap up the podcast, what we like to do at the end of the podcast, speak on something we're looking forward to, whether it's the near term or long term in the future. Because you know what they say about having something to look forward to. And for myself, I actually got a couple of things. Life ain't too bad. Life is good. There's one minor thing. Every month they drop a new short episode of like animated like card lore. Basically, Konami drops a new anime episode every month, and the next one's coming up. And even though they're short, they're definitely dope, and it feels like I always come and recommend them. So that's coming up. I'm looking forward to / announcement. There's no podcast next weekend rather. I'm looking forward to going to a family gathering, specifically because my great grandmother's birthday, and you always have to be super grateful and appreciative whenever you have great grand people in your life, because hey man, it is not easy getting old. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Gonna be around a bunch of family, which is also a blessing. And last but not least, which I might have to watch in post, they brought back Versus, and I know a lot of people kind of were way off Versus, and they haven't even done it since the little pandemic. But I always thought Versus is really good for the culture because it brings a lot of eyes on one particular hip hop event. Speaking of hip hop and authentic hip hop, It's gonna be whatchamacallit, Master P's No Limit versus Cash Money. So it's not just gonna be one artist versus one artist. It's gonna be a group. And to be honest, versus battles these days are more just like a concert, like a bad, like you do your song and I do my song. So it is not that same like it's not that same competitiveness like it used to be. And obviously it's in person and not it's not via IG Live. But I still look. I'm honestly I'm looking forward, even if it's not the same vibe. I'm just looking forward to see if they can recreate something that's as dope as it used to be. Because there was some really dope verses and seeing like people in the chat commenting. So I'd be interested to know if it does have even somewhere near the same energy. But yeah, that's all I'm looking forward to.
Dope.
Wayne, go ahead.
Let's see what do I have. Oh, next week, Halo World Championships are happening, so it's gonna be fun to watch.
Nice.
And they're also gonna be announcing some type of Halo game. I have a feeling it's gonna be like a Halo CE remake, which is kind of I don't care, but I'm hoping they announce something else because I've been fiending a new Halo game. So that should be enjoyable. Also looking forward. There's a few books that I've been planning on reading that I just kind of been putting off, and I think I'm in the mindset to start reading heavily again. So looking forward to that. I think there was a show that started up again that I. Oh yeah, Smile and Friends is back, and it's like episodes of like 10 minutes, but they are. I don't know what it is about the show. It's ridiculous, but it's very just makes me smile at the dumbest things, and there's not a lot to smile about in this world. But yeah, that
it's such a perfect show. It just like they know that like the timing, like
yeah,
it's just they do a phenomenal job, and it's so stupid. It's crazy.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, that looks pretty good this season. Yeah, I think that's it.
Nice. For me, just got a standing desk and I need to put it together, but I'm hype about getting that together and starting to use it. And then Ninja Gaiden 4 drops Tuesday.
Oh yeah.
Oh shoot.
Don't have anything to play it on, I don't think, but I will need to get something.
Maybe you should get a Steam Deck, and then maybe I'll just steal it.
You still ain't got that damn Steam Deck.
Yeah, there's just so many things I want to do before I started gaming. But
yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get a PS5 or get a PC. I really should just get a PC, but that'll take thought. I don't know if I want to think that much.
That right there is the exact reason why I bought consoles in the past and not a gaming computer.
I'm telling you, man, get that Steam Deck. It's a good medium. You don't have to. It's not a large investment.
How you gassing it? You still ain't bought one yourself?
Cause that'll be more onus on me to like let me test it. I've actually never even tested it. I just like it could suck.
You telling Ace to buy be the test dummy?
But anyway, good stuff. Yeah, I forgot that's dropping soon. But yeah, everyone's like hooked on now that new Pokemon ZA. So probably people will come to that next.
People low key been roasting it. Just saying.
Yeah, but people are still gonna buy it. That's the crazy part. It's gonna be the best.
Yeah, it's gonna be the best selling Pokemon. Yeah, we already know.
Every time, every okey doke. Anyway, That's actually interesting. You brought up the Halo. I'm trying to because obviously I always wanted to play Halo, and I think I recently kind of came to the conclusion like we still have a 360 floating around somewhere, right?
I still play it.
Yeah, we're
What did I
just
do?
let's just do it ourselves. I kind of want to wait for another thing that's gonna happen in the not too distant future, but I think one night you might have to just like pull up to the crib and just like local co-op it, just like the good old days. Do you still have to? Do you still have to do that? Do you still have to do that jailbreak strat to?
Oh my gosh, I played the campaign.
Oh
That was
my
crazy.
god. I forgot about that shit, bro.
Yeah, even though I kind of wanted. Again, I don't want to speak too much on it. I kind of want a different setup. I think one day in the not too distant future, maybe end of the year when we have some time off, might just pull up and bring the Halo and the console. I'll bring food and we just good old days.
Yeah, you guys could come to my place. I'll be good. I'll have my room done
Yeah,
finally.
peep the new setup.
Yep,
Yeah, that'd be dope.
projector going.
So yeah, something else to look forward to potentially. But as far as right now, thank God for coming on here and doing the podcast thing. It's good to know that we do have some level of flexibility, whether it's late night Saturday podcast or early morning Sundays. Obviously, I don't know which one you guys prefer. I'm always gonna prefer later night because that's where I feel more alive. Like even though I'm probably should be going to bed, especially since I gotta something to do in the morning. After the Sunday morning podcast, I'd be tired. But anyway, also we thank any and all supporters, video likers, subscribers, commenters, just anyone who interacts with the platform. We greatly appreciate y'all, and we hope that by listening to our podcast, that you might get a new perspective, or you might learn something new, like the fact that in the near future, somebody might hit you with the thumbs down poop emoji if you cut them off, or we just hope that you find it entertaining. And if none of that happened to you, then all I have to say to you is be warmed and be filled. Thank you.
Damn, dog, we've been in here for 5 hours.